Without Dre last night, the Warriors fell to the LA Clippers 121-113. Golden State sitting at 10-14, well below 500. Steph Curry was asked about Draymond Green's indefinite suspension postgame.
You know, he can't do what he's been doing. He knows that. We know that. Everybody knows that. What that means to change, I think that's the search for the answer, right? Like, that's the journey that we're on now. Everybody has their mountains to climb. And, you know, Draymond's are his, and, you know, I'm confident he can get over the hump, however long it needs to, you know, take to get there.
Meanwhile, Steve Kerr fielding questions yesterday, including the criticism of Steph Curry for not being a leader and more vocal during this Draymond saga. Here's Kerr with more.
Steph is as good of a leader as I've ever been around. I mean, the guy is an amazing human being, and what he's done the past decade in leading this team through all of the ups and the downs and the turmoil. For anybody to question Steph Curry's leadership, it's actually it's kind of sickening to me, you know. And I saw some of that yesterday. It was disgusting. So that's a big part of the job these days as a professional athlete. You have to deal with everything, and you have to accept it. But there are times when you kind of have to say, really? Like, that's the angle you're going to take? You're going to question Steph Curry's leadership? Like, really? We're going to do that? Think about that.
Steve Kerr calling critics of Steph Curry's leadership disgusting. Stephen A., you talked yesterday about Steph's
Molly,
leadership.
it wasn't critics. He know who he was talking to. He know who he was talking to. He was talking to you. He was talking to you. Yeah.
He's talking to me. He's talking to me, Molly.
Okay. Kendrick Perkins and Brian Windhorst here. Hi, guys. Thanks for being with us. Stephen A., what's your reaction to what Steve Kerr had to say if he was speaking directly to you?
Steve Kerr didn't mention me by name. I'll mention Steve Kerr by name. I'm disgusted with him. You see, this is the problem. This is the problem, okay? No. You can leave me up on the split screen with everybody, please. This is the problem, okay? Steve Kerr, no one is questioning Steph Curry as a leader. What we said was, quote, if that were LeBron James, we would have said, where are you? So in this particular instance, we're not talking about behind the scenes. We're talking out front and center. We were asking Steph Curry, where are you on this? Because you're such a great leader. Because you're such a phenomenal individual. Because you're the closest thing to perfection that I think most of us have ever seen as a professional athlete. We're asking about the impact that you've seemingly been unable to have on a teammate who loves and reveres you like Draymond Green. But Steve Kerr twisted it. Because we want to sit up there. He wanted. I don't even want to use the words. You understand that I'm tempted to in terms of him fawning over Steph Curry. We all fawn over Steph Curry. Why would you try to twist it like that? You trying to tell me that Steph Curry's not a human being? That every single thing about him is absolutely positively perfect, that we can't sit here while revering him and respecting him and appreciating everything about him? We can't simply sit here and say, yo, you of all people, you might be able to have an impact on Draymond Green. Whether we're right or wrong in that, I'm just talking about speculating about that because of the phenomenal person, athlete, professional that Steph Curry has proven to be. If I'm looking at Draymond, who is Draymond hurting most? He's hurting Steph Curry because Steph Curry is so great still that without Draymond Green, he's out on the court without his guy, which hurts him. That's the point that we were making. But Steve Kerr twisted up. And that's the problem that I have with him, and people let him get away with that because he's such a good man and he's a top 5 coach of all time in my estimation, and he is a good man. Everybody that knows that about Steve Kerr is a good man. He's decent, he's conscientious, he's a leader, he's a winner on every level. We know what he's been through in his life. The fact that he is the human being that he is, we revere him too. But from time to time, we might ask a question about Steve Kerr. It's disgusting. to ask the question? That's a problem. And he's talking about the days that we're living in and all of this stuff and clickbait. My brother, you didn't say my name, but I don't need clickbait. We've been number one 12 years. With or without YouTube, with or without social media, been number one. Period. Number one. Month over month, week over week, year over year for 12 consecutive years. I don't need no damn clicks. We're on a national television show, which you used to do, Steve Kerr, because he was calling games. You in TV?
Yeah,
Come on now. Just stop that nonsense. We can ask the question without somebody being disgusted because, oh my God, we didn't fawn over Steph Curry with every syllable that we uttered out of our mouth. We know how great of a person Steph Curry is. Nobody impugned the integrity of Steph Curry. What we said was, if it were LeBron James, he would have been held to a certain standard. Why isn't that standard applicable to Steph Curry? That's all. That's all.